to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 240, and it has been a very busy week subscriber-wise. So we have a ton of new subscribers. We have like 43 new subscribers since last Thursday when I announced, or Thursday before last when I announced the giveaway for 3,200 subscribers. We now have, as of the time of this filming, 3,243. So as soon as we hit 3,300, which means we only have 57 to go, once we hit that number, there will be another giveaway. So there will be another giveaway every time we hit another 100 subscribers until further notice. So anyway, yes, the winner of last week's giveaway was Demetra, and she has claimed her prize, and it is on the way to her. So congratulations, Demetra. And like I said, stick around, just be watching. There will be another one whenever we hit 3,300 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, please click that little red subscribe button down below. And if you click the little bell-shaped icon next to it, it will let you know anytime I post a video, which is always on Wednesday and Saturday, and then whenever there's sales or fun stuff going on that I want to share with everybody. So if you notice, my background is a little different today. We went shopping for groceries today. We shop for a month at a time. So when I go grocery shopping, it's an all-day event, and my knees are killing me. I'm waiting for knee replacement, and they're very sore, so there is no way I'm going to climb up the stairs to the craft cave. Besides, it's really hot up there. So this is actually, when our house was built, this was intended to be the dining room. But we have an eat-in kitchen with a big dining room table, you know, big kitchen table in there. So this is kind of the catch-all room. It's kind of music and Dave's hobby room, and then mine is upstairs, but you can see I store yarn, of course, down here as well, so I don't have to climb the stairs as often. So I thought, well, I will just film down here today. So a little bit different scenery, and you can see the guitar over there, and right here, that is the top of my husband's mandolin. Well, one of my husband's mandolins. He's currently building another mandolin. He likes to make them as part of a hobby, so he's out in the garage doing that, so it's nice and quiet. I thought it'd be a good time to do this. So let's get started with the stuff you guys came here for, and that is the projects, the yarn, the knitting, the crochet, all that kind of good stuff. So I have one finished object. This is another hat, and there we get it. We're getting it to focus. And this just has like, it's not really random. It's kind of textured. I just did some crisscross stitches on it, mainly because I got bored with going around and around and around in circles. So this is what the top looks like. And this is another hat for charity. So again, there it is. There's no pattern for this. It's basically every, what, maybe 2-3 rows or so. I did kind of a semi-mock cable on it, and which just forms like little X's every few rows. So just a little texture to it to make it fun because I was bored. So yes, there is another hat for charity. Now my first work in progress I'm going to show you is another hat, and there's a little bit of a story behind it. Let me show it to you first. And if you notice, there is what's called long stitches. You can see right here and right here, and here, there you can see a little bit better. So these are called long stitches. They are longer than your normal stitch. They go up about 3 rows. Now I had a viewer, Spring Nolker, actually contacted me and asked if I could show her how to do the long stitches. And so I did a tutorial and sent it to her so she could get to work with what she was doing. By the way, you will see that in show and tell. She's making a sweater, and it has long stitches in it, and it's made with her hand-dyed yarn. There's also another sweater that she shows that she crocheted out of some yarn that she spun. So yeah, anyway, it has long stitches in it. And so this is the hat that I used to do the tutorial, which is Wednesday's video. So if you've ever wanted to know how to do long stitches, and these long stitches can be very versatile, you can slant them different directions. The pattern that I wrote called Little Holes on the Bias Cowl, that is done with long stitches that are then slanted. I've also made a Knit Picks pattern, had this in it. And I also did the Cooper Spur pullover that is long stitches that you then crisscross, and it forms like a cross, like an X all the way around the sweater. So yeah, they are versatile, and you can use them for some texture, or you can, like I said, slant them different directions for different designs. So that will be Wednesday's tutorial. So this is another hat, like I said, and this is work in progress number 1. Now we'll move to crochet. I have done a ton of crochet this week. I crocheted an entire 2 other skeins of yarn for the Afghan that I am making for my son and daughter-in-law. So this is the 3D this is it the 3D texture stitch? I think it's a 3D texture stitch. So you can see right here, I think. Yeah, you can see the stitch marker right there. I have crocheted all the way up to here this week. So I still have more to go on this. I need 2 more skeins of yarn, but see if I can hold the whole thing up. Here it is. It is about 3 feet wide, and right now it's probably about 2.5 feet tall. So I think if I get 1 more skein of each of the colors, that'll take care of it. But let me hold it up close one more time so you can see. Oh, it's a 3D cluster stitch, not texture stitch. There you can see it. And it is reversible. So it is very thick and puffy because you're crocheting in the front post for 2 of the 4 clusters. So yeah, so anyway, this is my crochet project. This is being done with Premier Basics worsted weight, and I am using a 6mm hook. So that is for my son. And the one I'm going to make for my daughter-in-law, which will not be this stitch, which I like, but it's eating up lots of yarn. But the Afghan for my daughter will be next, and it's right over here. It's the taupe color and the kind of foresty green. There's the colors for hers. And it's funny because you can tell there's a generation gap going on here, because I had asked her, did she want a C2C pattern? Because she saw the one that my granddaughter got that I made for her college dorm. And it was so funny. We were at her graduation party last Saturday. She got, I think, more excited about that than she did about the earrings we gave her for graduation. The Afghan really wasn't for graduation. I was just making it for her for when she went away to college. But I finished it, so I gave it to her at the same time. She was running around at the party with it draped around her, hugging the blanket. So it made me feel so good. So anyway, I talked to my daughter and I was like, do you want that pattern, or do you want like a granny square or a big granny square or a ripple stitch? And she wasn't real into the ripple stitch until I mentioned, or chevron. She went, oh, chevron. And it's so funny because you and I of this age remember ripple Afghans from the 70s. I remember my mother and my grandmother making one. You know, it was called a ripple Afghan. Today it's called a chevron. It's still a ripple Afghan. But it was just so funny because it was like the ears perked up and she got interested when I said chevron as opposed to ripple. So anyway, we're making a chevron Afghan for her out of that yarn over there. So that is the crocheted project. And then I have one other knitted project I've started. And this is a shawl design that I'm working on. And this is in a bag by Susie Pop's Creation. So she sent this to me. It's a nice drawstring bag. It's perfect size for socks. It will eventually be too small for this shawl, but for right now it's working quite well. So let me show you what I have designed so far. The two colors I'm using, the red here is Hedgehog Fibers. I have no clue what the name was. I keep thinking it had the name Fiery in it. I don't know. It's been several years since I bought this, and I bought this over between Christmas and New Year's a few years ago. And then the gold color here, apparently I like gold because the hats are all gold over there too. Anyway, it almost matches the exact same color, but the gold I believe is Brooklyn Tweed. Pretty sure that's the name of the brand. So there they are together. And the red has it has purples and it has pinks and yellows, and actually has even some green in it. Has a whole mix of different colors. So let me show you what I have got designed so far. This is going to be a crescent shaped shawl, which means there's going to be lots of stitches on the needles because you do a lot of increases really fast. So here's what it looks like so far. And I have a little stitch marker on here, not to mark where I was at, but when I first started this, I wanted to make sure I knew and remembered which side was the right side as opposed to the wrong side. Now I can easily look and tell, but when I first got started, it's real easy to get confused. So here is what it looks like so far. And a crescent shawl is wider than it is deep. So I am right now at 187 stitches going all the way across. So yeah, they tend to be not so deep this way, more this direction. But they're very easy to wear, a crescent shaped shawl, because they are wide enough, they wrap around your neck really easily. So yeah, and the stitch marker here is from Knit Crate. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. It looks like a little skein of twisted yarn. And this was a few months ago that they did the stitch marker. And the stitch marker that's on the Afghan I'm making was in last month's Knit Crate unboxing. So that's what I have been working on this week. What have you all been making? Now, if you missed my Wednesday video, you missed quite a bit because I had a 16 skein yarn haul from Hobby Lobby clearance sale where most of the Yarn Bee yarns were 70% off. So yeah, it was a really, really good deal. I bought 16 skeins of yarn, a lot of which, well actually most of which I'm going to work on making summer tops for next summer. So anyway, if you missed that, because I'm not going to show you the acquisitions because they're upstairs, which I can't get up there, and there's a lot to show. And we don't want to have the show run too long. So if you missed the acquisitions and you want to check out what I got, you can click the link right over here and that will take you over to that video where you can see what I got and what I'm going to do with it. So that's my acquisitions. Now, what am I reading? Well, I finished the book I was working on or reading last week, which was A Crime of a Different Stripe, which was the Seaside Knitters Mysteries, and that was by Sally Goldenbaum, and it was really good. It was not who I thought it was, the murder person. So these are cozy mysteries. In other words, they're sort of like Murder, She Wrote. It's a murder, but it's clean. There's no language, no graphic scenes of any kind, and it's usually a group of ladies that get together in their knitting group or crochet group and solve a mystery. Sadly, there's only one crochet mystery series that I know of, and I've read all of her books so far, and that's by Betty Hechtman. However, she has a new one coming out in a couple months, so I'm keeping an eye out for that. But the next book that I am reading, I haven't started it yet. It's called Nitty Gritty Murder, and it is by Peggy Earhart. And I've read all the other books that she's written by that series, and I really like them. So I'm looking forward to this. And it's funny because the title sounds very familiar, and I keep thinking I've read this, but when I read what the book was about, I don't remember it. So it could be my mind is failing me. It could be once I start listening to it, I'll go, oh yeah, I have listened to this before. I tend to get books on CD or books that I download onto my computer because then I can knit or crochet and just listen to them. Yeah, so anyway, if you're interested in checking out any of the stuff that I read, or you want to check them out for yourself and get a copy or whatever, there is a link down below to Amazon, and it's over in my favorites in my cozy reading list, as well as other things that I use and recommend. So yeah, if you want to check out those books, you can. Now it's time for... Now in our Come and Get It section, Knit Picks is running a summer sale, so each week the sale is different. So the sale that is currently running, it ends, you're watching this, if you're watching this Saturday, you've only got one more day because the sale starts, it runs Monday to Sunday. So this particular sale will be ending on the 27th because the 28th they will announce another sale. But the one that's currently running is 60%, up to 60% off of lace and fingering weight yarn. Lace weight yarn is the weight that you would use to make doilies, and fingering weight is what this is made out of. I won't say most, but a lot of your shawls are made with fingering weight. So fingering weight is about half the width of worsted weight, if that kind of gives you an idea in case you aren't sure what fingering weight is. It's very similar to sock weight. So yeah, so if you want to make socks, fingering weight usually will work for it because it's very, very close. Sport weight yarn, baby weight yarn are all more, they're close to fingering. So anyway, it's up to 60% off of lace and fingering weight yarns, and that is Knit Picks. The links to these sales are down below. The other sale is Lion Brand Virtual Sidewalk Sale. Now I did send a video out about this. Actually, I sent a video out about both of these earlier this week. They are having a virtual sidewalk sale up to 40% off of select yarns. So I'm not sure which of the yarns are select. I saw a few, but I didn't look at all of them. You do not need a coupon code for either of these sales. The Lion Brand sale is running until it ends on the 29th. So you got a couple days left for the Lion brand sale. But that is up to 40% off of whatever yarns they have in their select yarns that are on sale. Yeah, so that is it for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It does really help the channel. And thank you once again for all of you who participated in the giveaway, and stay tuned for whenever we hit the next milestone. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again later this week. Bye everybody.